Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Ghosts and another episode of KEM Strike Saturday, which of course is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in KEM Strikes. This was sent in by a guy named Leviathan, who was on a lot of different episodes of KEM Strike Saturday, especially towards the beginning parts of the series, but he's kind of been on a little bit of a dry spell, really hasn't been sending in a whole lot of stuff, but he's back here, he's returning with this particular KEM Strike here. So it's going to be two different weapons, and usually I prefer KEM Strike Saturday videos to be with one particular weapon, but this one was kind of understandable because he just literally ran out of ammo. So the KEM Strike itself is actually with the LSAT light machine gun and the Vector submachine gun, and it's pretty nice gameplay. It's playing on the map Ignition, which of course is the remake of the Modern Warfare 2 map Scrapyard, and I love this map and I understand it completely. But before we start talking about that, it has that knife happens right there, let's start talking about the perks he's using for this particular gameplay. So the first perk is Ready Up, which of course is a perk that a lot of people really seem to use, because usually you just make your class, right, and then you usually have like 1 point left, and you're like, alright, whatever, I'll throw it and I'll use it on Ready Up. So Ready Up just really seems to be used on a lot of different classes. He's got Steady Aim, which is kind of questionable for me, because even with Steady Aim, I wonder why you would even, want hip firing with a light machine gun. Even with Steady Aim, a light machine gun's hip fire is very, very bad. We've got Dead Silence, which of course is to make it so your footsteps are quieter, but more importantly, with your footsteps being quieter, you can hear the enemy's footsteps a bit better with that. We've got Focus, which I believe should be like a mandatory perk on just about every single class to reduce all the flinch of people being shot at you. And Hardline. Hardline's definitely a good one if you're looking to get yourself a KEM Strike of some sort, because if you're actually going for the KEM Strike, right, you're gonna want Hardline because every 2 assists equals 1 kill. So if you're running, using specialists trying to get yourself a KEM Strike, you're not going to want to have Hardline being your specialist bonus, because you're probably going to get a bunch of assists en route to your specialist bonus, right? So you're going to want Hardline right from the get if you're going for KEM Strikes and you're using specialists. That's a good thing. And Ping, which I believe to be a very underrated perk. It's a perk I've been using quite a bit myself. I just really like the perk Ping, because in Call of Duty Ghosts, of course, there is no UAV, and we have SATCOM, so the radar really is never up. So to have Ping every time you kill somebody, it lets off this giant like motion sensor ping, and it lets you know if other people are in the area. Very underrated perk in my opinion. But what we got going on here is we're playing a bit on the map Ignition, which of course, once again, Scrapyard. And I know Scrapyard inside now. I know it inside now. So the enemy team has been at the A flag throughout the majority of the video. There's basically 2 spawn points on this map where the enemy team is going to be if you're playing Domination and they only have the A flag. They're going to be inside the building directly behind A, which he's heading into it right now. They spawn in there like crazy. Like that guy, he just like basically spawned there, he ends up killing him. They spawn there all the time. And right here next to this tower that he's running at, he just kills this guy right here, who's AFK. Yeah, right there. Those are the 2 spawn points. In that building and right there at that little tower thing, if you want to call it that, are basically the 2 spots you're ever going to find people if they're spawning at the A flag. That's how Modern Warfare 2 was though, right? Basically, if you're playing Domination, you give them 1 flag, you take the other 2 flags, and they're only going to spawn in like a handful of spots. And spawn trapping was definitely a big deal in Modern Warfare 2, especially High Rise. I feel as though the reason they never actually remade the map High Rise was because of how spawn trappy it was, and how easily you could just take out so many people. Basically just walk up to the windows on High Rise and shoot fish in a barrel as they come out of that back room is really how you ended up playing that map. But right there, we actually pick up the KEM Strike. He decides to go back inside because he's like, why not? I got the KEM Strike, let's try and get that kill. But that guy was on his belly, ended up taking him out. We're going to fast forward here towards the end of the gameplay where actually calls in the KEM Strike, and he's going to be actually picking up a few kills up here towards the C building. I'm going to call it the C building. It's the giant building that you do not want the enemy team to be in, because there's so many places for them to go through. There's so many windows for them to pop their head out. Definitely when you're playing on the map Ignition, or even if you're going back to Modern Warfare 2 and you're playing on the map Scrapyard, you always want the enemy team to be at the A flag if you're playing Domination. C is okay. I mean, you can do decent when it's like that, but it's definitely a lot easier when they're at the A flag. It kind of reminds me of the map Octane and Call of Duty Ghosts, right? You can have them at the C flag, right? It's okay to have them at the C flag, but it's definitely way better, I think, to have them at the A flag, so you just, shooting fish in a barrel as they come out of the strip club and, taking people out by the motel. It's very easy, it's, both are doable, but one is definitely better. And that is the end of the gameplay, guys. That is a ridiculous score, in my opinion, for somebody who's using specialists and not using assault kill streaks. to drop 60 plus kills is pretty nice. And I think that really speaks to how good of a map Ignition is, how good of a map Scrapyard is. But a final score of 66 kills and 5 deaths. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of KEM Strike Saturday. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. If you guys like to send in your guys' KEM Strikes for next week's episode of KEM Strike Saturday, everything you guys need to see is on your screen right now. No commentary, no color correction. Try and render your video out at great quality. Upload that video to YouTube as unlisted. Link me via personal message here on YouTube. And then congratulations, you have submitted your video for next week's episode of KEM Strike Saturday. If you guys like to go ahead and check out Leviathans, alright, so he was featured quite a bit when the series first started. He's kind of been on a little bit of a dry spell, I guess, in sending in videos. It's not like he's on a dry spell of KEM Strikes. You go to his channel, he has a ton of KEM Strikes. He just hasn't been sending a whole lot in lately. But if you guys want to go check out his channel, it's youtube.com/KashanZilla. And you're going to find just under 75 videos. Nearly all of them are KEM Strikes, right? He's been posting a lot since Call of Duty Ghosts came out. And oftentimes he'll post some quick tips and some how-to stuff and what he was thinking during the KEM Strike to kind of help people improve playing Call of Duty Ghosts. Kind of similar to what we do here in KEM Strike Saturday. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out his channel, it is youtube.com/KashanZilla. Go ahead and give him a look if you guys haven't already. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of KEM Strike Saturday. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.